All right. We are back on this week's episode 2 of Rova HoopCast. Go ahead, introduce us, Pops.
Hey man, I think we got 3 topics today we're going to talk about, like mental toughness, physical toughness. I think's one. Hit on that LeBron chasing and surpassing Kareem this week, and
Yeah, that was a big time.
what that was all about, and excitement that it was caused there, and then take a look at the district playoffs here at the end in the Blue Ridge, and maybe hit on maybe a first round game that I think we know y'all are headed to right now. But anyway, let's get it started. Now I had an opportunity last night at the last regular season home game of the year versus Stanton River. You guys pulled out a nice victory there, and had a special guest in attendance, Justin Mutz of
Yep.
Virginia Tech. Spent some time with you. Talk about a little bit about the time that you got to spend with him, what he talked about regarding this particular topic that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, of course. That was a great experience meeting Justin last night and just being able to gain some wisdom from him throughout his college career. He gave us a lot of stuff about going into playoffs, how they hit kind of a rough patch last year in their conference, starting 2-7, and then they ended up 10-7, winning an ACC championship and stuff.
Unbelievable.
He passed around his state championship ring and then his ACC championship ring, so that was cool. No,
That's
but what he talked about was a lot of mental preparation and how to be tough going to the playoffs, because once you play 20-plus games, your body's beat, and you really can't control your mind controls your body.
That's correct.
So, and mental outweighs physical 3-1. So, just the mental part of the game is a very important aspect when it comes to postseason and playoffs and districts and regionals. So you really have to focus in on that and just focus on winning.
Yeah, what were some of the mental things he was talking about?
Oh, I mean, I kind of hit on him right there just about the 3-1 stuff. And then he talked a lot about the law of attraction and talking about how he's always been a positive guy and he's always shown love, and that's what, he's shown love and respect, and that's what he gets back from people. I mean, of course, there's hatred out there on social media and stuff, but he doesn't let that distract him, and his team they're very tight bond, and how he gets mentally prepared for games. He told us, like, his tip, he got into meditation.
Yeah.
I believe he said, I can't remember, maybe last year or something, but he said it's really helped him. And different people have different ways to prepare, but he said he found that's one of his ways that really helps him.
Something you might want to dive into.
Yeah, that's a interesting thing that I've wanted to do for a while. Just gotta hone in and do it.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff. I know that guy also talk about. That's a smart dude right there, man. How many degrees he got?
3 degrees. He'll have his second master after his second semester at Tech this year. So
That's incredible. I mean, great job from that young man.
And Coach Hicks pointed out that when they went down for a practice, Young said he was the smartest basketball player he's ever coached in his life. So, I mean, that's a heck of a compliment coming from that high standard of a coach.
Absolutely. So then let's talk about the physical aspects. You want to get into that, mental versus physical. What are we talking about? We're talking about physical aspects.
Physical,
heading down the stretch.
Yeah. Physical, it's tough for a few of us playing 32 minutes a game, but I mean, we have to do that, and that beats down on our body, and we lift during the like twice, just to keep your tendons and bones, everything strong, just so it doesn't get easily to tear or have a stupid little injury in the postseason.
Right.
I mean, you can't control your physical aspect of your body. That's all coming from your head, and like I said, mind controls body. But the physical part, taking hits and everything throughout the whole season, that builds up and it starts to hit you near the end. And I mean, I've seen it. I mean, my knee's been hurting, but you put some tape on it and you do some remedies and some stretches and stuff, and it kind of helps it. But yeah, the physical coming down the stretch, you've got to you just got to pay attention and be careful. You just have to do the right thing with your body, and I think
But you can
you'll
look
be
at that two
fine.
different ways. Physical, like playing physical. Like
Oh yeah,
last night was a yeah. It's always great to sit up in the stands and watch a kid like Carson Edwards come in a game, take multiple charges. Connor Dowdy come in, took a
yeah.
charge.
It was Carson, then Dowdy, then me.
You
So
took
yeah,
one,
yeah,
which was good. Personally, I think you guys need to be, as individuals, at least trying to take two or three a game. I mean, those add up during the course of a basketball game. When you're talking about heading down the stretch, you're talking about creating another possession for you and taking away theirs. So that's a big deal.
yeah.
I like what I seen last night from that perspective. And when you talk about physicality going down the stretch, so coming down the stretch, district tournaments, region tournaments, state tournament opportunities. When you talk about physicality, man, that stuff's got to raise up right here at the end. Like whatever you were, it's got to increase three times. And hey, bodies might be tired,
Yeah.
but now's the time heading down the stretch where guys have to be ready to lay it on the line, and talk about that from your aspect, what you see you guys need to do from a physicality
Yeah.
standpoint and where that needs to lead to heading down the stretch.
Yeah, especially down the stretch, physicality is a big thing. Like you said, you've got to make it 10 times harder. Just being able to lay it on the line for your teammates. You've got to have like our guys. I mean, you just have to lock in, and you have to be able to take shots for your team. Like to your body, you got to be physical. You got to be the toughest one on the court. The toughest team is, Coach Hart says a lot. The game rewards toughness. When you bring that energy, bring that physicality first, it honors it. So yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah, down the stretch, you really got to be the tougher team, and you come out, not intimidated. You come out like you're a dog. You're gonna come out successful, and you're gonna win that game. So
Well, I mean, especially down the stretch, right?
yeah, especially down the stretch,
I,
because yeah, some teams might take it like not that they haven't been there, but some teams take it for granted that, oh, this team isn't that good, and then they come out, that team that they're saying that about comes out with elite amount of toughness and surprises them and ends up giving up an upset.
so it takes all of you. So hey,
Takes all of
here's
'em,
my
yeah.
deal to you. You can move forward, or the season will end quickly. But when I talk about that, man, it sends a whatever through my body because, we're talking about not talking about putting a body on somebody in a big way during the season. We're 20 some games in. You got to be done talking about that. Look,
Yeah,
guys either want to play for an opportunity to get to a state tournament, right?
yeah,
Or you pack it in and you choose not to play physical, like Coach Hart says, physicality, hey, it's rewarding, right? So
yeah,
we got to be the first guys touching people, but it's got to be talked about, not just by one person, man. It's got to be talked about by all five of those guys on the court. Touch somebody, touch
yeah.
somebody.
That's got to be instilled in the whole
Box,
team. Yeah,
getting on the floor. I seen one or two times last night we had opportunities to get on the floor and we chose not to.
yeah,
See, those aren't going to get you into the region deep or into the state.
yeah,
Those are the type of things the little things have to be big things right now. And the ones who choose not to be physical, the teams, they're probably going to be sitting home in another week and a half. So, talk about what you feel like your chances are moving forward. I know you've got Stanton River Friday night,
yep.
first round of the district, and go from there, man.
Yeah, I think we have a great shot. Yeah, Stanton River on Friday. Most likely either Fleming or Northside on Monday, correct? And then we'll play that championship on Wednesday. And I think we have a great shot. We talked with coaches and stuff, and they kind of. I heard something great last night. It was like, in order to win a championship, you have to be in a championship. And I think, if we don't, we have to like we need to play in this district championship in order to get in that situation that we're used to being in that championship kind of, or that vibe. But I think it's definitely possible if we all lock in, bring that physicality like we've been talking about the whole time.
Anything's
Yeah,
possible.
anything is possible, as
Anything's
always.
possible.
Yeah.
But you got to believe it
Yep,
first,
yep, yep.
right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, let's head into segment 2. I mean, anything's possible. All right. Yeah. LeBron passing Kareem last night in all-time points, what was he what do you think he was feeling last night?
No, that's a ton of years put into one sport, man, and yeah, I certainly don't. I mean, looking at basketball over the years, I mean, is he the goat? Well, that's
People have
always
different views on
that's
that. Yeah, yeah.
always a topic
You
for
can always come at that from different areas, though. So
people and look at it differently.
yeah, of
I will
course.
say this: there's none greater than Michael Jordan. I doubt there ever will be. But for LeBron to play the game as long as he has and
Yeah.
played it with greatness,
Yeah,
he's the best that's ever done that.
he's taking
That
care.
that's not even a question right there for longevity of doing it at that high a level. LeBron James, absolutely.
Yeah, all that money coming in, he's taking care of his body. He makes sure that's one of his things in the off season that he takes care of his body. I think that's why he's so
Durable.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, big congratulations to LeBron.
Yeah.
I know he said the other day he talking about retirement. He said, "I will not retire until I get one full season
With my son.
with Bronny." So look for that to happen. If
Yeah,
a
of
man
course.
says it,
I mean-
it's probably going to happen eventually. So I know,
And that scoring record isn't going to be broke anytime soon, I don't think.
no, I don't know. It's going
pretty
to take
heavy.
somebody extra special to play
course.
that many years and to do it at that level.
I was
Oof,
watching
it's tough.
JJ the other day. They were talking about Tua, like the false narratives of LeBron talk, because there was a question on Twitter, I believe, about is LeBron the best scorer of all time. I mean, stats. Don't get me wrong, Michael. MJ, I still believe is the GOAT, but stats never lie. I mean, he averaging what he's averaged to almost age 40 is incredible. And I mean, you can't. Sometimes it's hard to compare MJ to LeBron because it's two different, eras of basketball. But yeah, JJ was kind of saying, like, you can't say he's not one of the best scorers of all time when his percentages are this high, his assist rate is this high, his rebounding rate is this high, and everything in longevity. What are you doing
well,
right now?
I mean, ain't nobody gonna deny that.
Nobody's
The
gonna
man's
deny
a
it,
total package. It's
Of course.
There's no question about that. I think the big conversation Jordan versus LeBron's always been, well, hey, but look at the rings that Jordan's got. How many championships did Jordan lose?
MJ, I
Right.
say greatest competitor of all time. LeBron, I say, is probably the greatest athlete of all time. Just his ability to do basically everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could do it all, and still doing it at a big level. So props to him and a big night there, and that's a physical player. When you talk about mentally and physically, that's a great
course.
subject too that you could dial right back into. Physically, whew, I don't know if anybody, not too many guys want to step in front of that dude. But so from a physical aspect in playing the game, man, he dominates the game physically.
Yep.
Now, then you flip that switch and talk about mentally, right? That's the edge that Jordan always had. See, Michael
Got you
always
there.
knew he was the guy.
Yeah.
He never backed down from that opportunity, and very seldom,
Yeah.
did he lose those opportunities. So, great subject to talk about. But I mean, we could go on and on about that, but
Yeah, of course.
that's definitely for another day. So,
And on to segment 3. Let's talk a little bit about the playoffs coming up, districts and regional tournament.
Blue Ridge tournament, we talking?
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so round 1, it looks like we've got, we said earlier, LB versus Stan River. We've already played them twice. And then you've got Byrd versus Franklin County.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting matchup because
Oh, yeah.
those are two underdog teams right now that can still surprise
Both
anybody.
are playing well and
Playing very well.
Yeah, and Franklin's
And
got some good size and
yeah,
physicality to them athletes.
and Bird can shoot they're very streaky.
Yeah.
And then you got Northside and Fleming. You have that bye for round one. And then round two, it looks like Northside will play the winner of Bird and Franklin County. That'll also be a good matchup. They've matched up. Northside has matched up with both of them very closely the past couple times they played.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, once hopefully we win on Friday, we'll play William Fleming. And then after that, that'll be district championship. So,
Well, I mean, I'll start off by saying, just like Friday night's game, Stanton River, I mean, they came in last night. I thought those guys played well. They did a lot of good things. You guys, I don't think you led but by 4 at halftime. I mean, they stayed in the game, competed. So, I mean, can't count those guys out. Hats off to them for playing hard and sticking in most of the game last night. And but you guys are just gonna. I thought really looking at it last night. I mean, you guys end up winning well over 20, but I just thought you looked slow last night. You weren't, you never really got into transition any. And
well,
I think, hey, look, it's one of them things, man. You got a couple of really good athletes that can get up and down the floor. I think we gotta push that tempo at times. You got to know when to slow it down, when to push it. But I think we got to do a better job because here's what I say, watching all year. Our guys are more dialed in, more focused when the tempo's faster.
Yeah,
because they're engaged defensively and then they're engaged offensively. I even think like moving the basketball. Stanton River sat in the zone last night. You guys pass the basketball, but it seems like most of the time you guys put the ball on the floor when you catch it. Instead of just swinging the basketball and getting the defense moving, guys will put it on the floor and, which, kills some time, man. I mean, I like to see the ball moving quicker is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I like to see you guys get into transition. But outside of that, got to play hard, got to play tough, got to rebound, and got to defend. And I think, good things can happen.
Talking about transition, they were hitting shots last night that usually we don't expect that, but let's go. Talking about transition. That zone, when they hit shots and get back in that zone, that's when it's kind of trouble for us. Kind of try and complicate it a little bit more than it should be. It's just sometimes just usually hit the middle, hit the wing. That's it. But yeah, we just have to get in the groove and then get in that momentum shift that we hit usually in that third quarter against them. So
and I hear what you're saying. But guys talk all the time. Well, but they hit shots. Well, good. I mean, they hit shots. Well, when the ball comes out of the net, we can grab the ball out of the net, step out of bounds, kick it in real quick, and get up the floor before they get set. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care if they make shots or not. I think we got to do a better job at picking that tempo up because it's obvious you guys play better with a faster pace, with better tempo. So pulling the ball, Carolina does it as good as anybody in the country, pulling the ball out of the net and inbounding it and going, not allowing that defense to set up. So I think if some of the keys to what you guys got to do is that pace has got to increase so you can get other guys involved mentally, be honest with you. Yeah.
You're right on all those. So you hit every single thing that I probably would have reiterated on. So
hey, let's talk about first round, second round. Fleming, obviously Northside get a bye. Yeah. Let's talk about both of those two teams. I mean, obviously some outstanding players on both of those programs, guys that go hard. Yeah. Talk about some of those guys and what they mean to their program and, getting the opportunity to play them.
Both teams has a bunch of guys that are very good role players and very athletic. They love to run the floor. So those teams can really give you trouble in the postseason if you're not ready to play them and you don't scout them well enough. So that's my take.
I know the Wilson kid for Fleming, man, he goes hard, gets after it, scraps, loves to defend. Kid always has a smile on his face, having fun. I love to see that. He's that kind of guy you want around. I know Junie's playing well. Higgs is playing well for him. I mean, those guys, William Fleming done a good job this year, and if we get there, it should be a good matchup. And then you talk about Northside, and those guys are still sitting here undefeated.
Yeah.
Sitting there with
22-0 regular season.
22-0, yeah, undefeated. Got I guess a sophomore, Hardy running the point for him, doing a really good job. Quiet leader, just does things, gets the job done, shoots the ball well. All those guys look like they play hard. 1 through 10, they, even guys coming off the bench play extremely hard. They play for each other. They move a basketball. And with that comes a lot of success. So, Northside, really no secret to why they're successful. So, play hard, compete, believe in each other. They don't care who scores the ball, and they move it well. So, Billy Pope's done another good job over at Northside this year. Mickey Hardy's done a great job there at Fleming as well. And, it ought to be interesting as it goes through the district. So, looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Of course, postseason is always fun. This being my last, I really want to go out there and win something. So that's the most important thing to me. Just having fun, but also winning. So, yeah.
At winning. At winning.
Hey,
at winning.
I appreciate
at winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate y'all for joining us on episode 2 this week on the
Hey,
Rova
one more
HoopCast
thing.
show.
One more thing, man.
What's your thing, dog?
Come on, man. Regional, I understand the parents have been set. Maybe first round has been set. Is that right?
Yeah, we play Abingdon, so.
All right, so you're going to Lord Botetourt's going to go to Abington first night.
Abingdon, yep.
Boy, that's heading down the road right close to Emory and Henry.
Yes, it is.
You're going to need to let Coach Thompson and the guys know, right?
Yes, sir.
But that's I think they got a 7-footer and a 6'9" kid. Matter of fact, the 6'9" kid.
He's playing really well right now.
Yeah, playing well. I know he's a Gatta kid, right?
Yep.
So tough matchup there, right out of the gate. But just looking forward at seeing what you guys can do. Just building that team thing bigger and better as we go down the stretch here. That's important. You got to play together. Got to be as one. So that's all I got, man.
Yes, sir. Love it, man. But what's going on? Thank y'all for joining us on episode 2. And I just want to give a little shout out for this week. We got my guy Bryce Woodliff. I want to shout out Noakes. If you need anything, any apparel, any sneakers, hit my boy up. He'll get you right. Thank y'all. See y'all on next episode on Rova HoopCast.
Got 5 on it, baby.